When a person sins, there's a chain reaction what happens. The first thing that happens when a person sins, he doesn't listen to the will of Hashem. Avar al Ratzon Hashem. He just didn't listen to the Master of the universe. Which when you think of it, is chutzpah. How dare you? Here, a judge will tell you to pay a fine or something, you're like a little boy, you'll go and pay everything. Here, the Master of the universe tells you to do something, and you don't listen? Why do you come up with a chutzpah? This is the first thing. The second thing that happens, as if that person is lucky and he has these spiritual garments that he created by some mitzvot, then he creates a blemish, a stain on the spiritual garment. And if the sin is small, then the stain is small. And if the sin is big, then the stain is big. And if it's the same sin over and over and over, then there's many of these stains. And if the sin is severe, then the spiritual garment is kind of like ripped. Now if the person is lucky and he's smart, comes Yom Kippur, he does tshuva, he asks forgiveness, he gives everything that he stole back, and he washes these stains off. And if that person is not lucky, then he has to deal with it when he comes up to Shamayim. You're going to have to wash it there. The next thing that happens when a person chas v'shalom does a sin, the Gemara says that he creates a malach habala, a destructive angel, exactly how it sounds. An angel that goes up to Shamayim to prosecute against him, an angel that comes and annoys him all day long. So he gets a ticket and gets into a car accident, and then he falls and trips, and then he breaks this, and then this business deal doesn't close, and that doesn't work out, and this doesn't work out. And he's looking for parking for 2 hours. Nothing works out because of these little angels that come and annoy him till he kills them. Worse than all that, when a person does a sin, he creates what's called a klipa, a shell. Same way that you have an orange, and the orange has a shell, a peel. The peel is not edible, it's sour, you're not going to eat the peel. What does it do? It covers on the edible part. So when a person does a sin, he creates this spiritual energy, a negative energy, that opposes holiness, and it covers the soul. And if a person does a lot of these sins, then the soul is covered with hundreds, if not thousands, of these layers, of these klipot, that what they do is they diminish the light of the soul. So then you meet a person that is not observant, doesn't keep Torah and mitzvahs, and you tell that person, you want to put tefillin on? Leave me alone. Hey, you want to come to a Shabbat meal? Shabbat? Who cares? I'm going out to a movie. You tell that person, you want to come to a good Torah class? Who cares about your Torah class? I'm going to see the football game. You see this coldness to spirituality. This klipa, this negative energy, opposes holiness. Anything you'll come to approach that person that has to be with holiness, no. I don't want. I don't care. And it's a result only of the sins. Worse than all that I just said, that has to do with the soul, with the person individually. Worse than all that, when a person does a sin, he creates a spiritual blemish in all the spiritual worlds. And to explain it in a more clear way, imagine you go now to a museum. Somewhere in Europe there's a museum that there's a picture this big that somebody 300 years ago took a bunch of paints and colors, threw it at the canvas, went like this, and now this picture is worth $500 million. Everybody comes from all over the world to see this picture. Now what's going to happen if somebody walks into the museum with a bucket of black paint and throws it at the picture and completely destroys the picture? What happens? He gets arrested, then he goes to jail, then he has to pay a fine, then he has to go through whatever he has to go through. But what really happened? He destroyed the picture. Nobody in the world will ever enjoy that picture. And that's what happens when a person does a sin in this world. Yeah, he does this stain on his soul that he has to do tshuva for, and he creates this angel that he has to kill later, and he creates this klipa, this shell that he's going to have to fight it. But worse than that, he created a spiritual blemish that affects everybody. So you see a lot of people and you tell them, don't do this sin right now. Leave me alone. It's my life. I'll do whatever I want. Yeah, you're right. It is your life, but it's also affecting me because we're all in one big boat. There's a story in the Midrash. It says that there was a ship, like a cruise, and there was thousands of people on the ship. One guy in the lower deck wanted some fresh air. He started drilling a hole in the wall. They're telling you, are you out of your mind? We're going to sink. Water's going to come in. The whole ship is going to sink. He's like, mind your own business. It's my room. Yeah, it is your room, but if water comes into the ship, the entire ship will sink. So when I do a sin, it affects everybody. One cannot say it's my business. I'll deal with it when I get there. Everybody's very brave. I'll deal with it when I get there. They don't even know what they're dealing with. On the other hand, when a person does a mitzvah, a good deed, he affects the entire world also. So what they were showing me is not necessarily only my wrongdoing, my sins. They're telling me, here you stole, but here's the damage that was caused by your act, that everybody's suffering from it. And everybody's standing around me and seeing it.